them have had concert-like atmospheres. But this time, the first BJP Chief Minister in Maharashtra, Wankhede Stadium has been chosen as a celebratory venue and for the swearing in. And there is Devendra Fadnavis. Let's listen.
साक्ष शपथ घेतो की कायद्याद्वारे स्थापित झाले आहे अशा भारतीय संविधानाबद्दल मी खरी श्रद्धा व निष्ठा बाळगीन. मी भारताची सार्वभौमता व एकात्मता उन्नत राखीन. मी महाराष्ट्र राज्याचा मुख्यमंत्री म्हणून माझी कामे निष्ठापूर्वक व शुद्ध बुद्धीने पार पाडीन आणि संविधान व कायदा यानुसार सर्व तऱ्हेच्या लोकांना मी निर्भयपणे व निस्पृहपणे तसेच कोणाच्याही विषयी ममत्व भाव किंवा आकस न बाळगता न्याय वागणूक देईन. मी देवेंद्र गंगाधरराव फडणवीस ईश्वर साक्ष शपथ घेतो की महाराष्ट्र राज्याचा मुख्यमंत्री म्हणून माझ्या विचारार्थ आणली जाईल किंवा मला ज्ञात होईल अशी कोणतीही बाब असा मुख्यमंत्री म्हणून माझी कामे यथायोग्य पार पाडण्यासाठी आवश्यक असेल ते खेरीज करून एरवी मी कोणत्याही व्यक्तीला किंवा व्यक्तींना प्रत्यक्षपणे व अप्रत्यक्षपणे कळवणार नाही किंवा त्यांच्याकडे उघड करणार नाही.
You know, Devendra Fadnavis becomes the second youngest Chief Minister of Maharashtra. The previous was Sharad Pawar at the age of 38. And Sharad Pawar became Chief Minister by breaking the Congress. Devendra Fadnavis, in a sense, has been nurtured by the Congress. He is, in a sense, someone who's emerged from within the ranks. I mean, he was mayor at the age of 26. His father was an old RSS BJP leader, so he comes from a traditional family. And his great success really was in the Vidhan Parishad. He was a wonderful legislator on most issues, whether it was Adarsh, whether it was irrigation scam. That's where he really got his advantage over the others who belonged to, are 15, 20 years older than him. He came across as a dynamic communicator.
Yes.
And it's interesting, straight after this swearing in, I've just been told he's going to go to Doordarshan Sayadri, DD Sayadri, the state channel, and is going to address the people there on what his vision for Maharashtra is. So he's taking the Narendra Modi model. What Narendra Modi does at the center, Devendra Fadnavis, young.
Which is what the campaign line was as well.
That's right. The next candidate who's now speaking is Eknath Khadse, the man who would love to have been Chief Minister and will probably now have to be reconciled with the number 2 spot. He again is 20 years older than Fadnavis, was actually the leader of the party in the legislature, the opposition leader. So he would have naturally expected that he would become the Chief Minister. He's Maratha, he's from North Maharashtra, which has never had a Chief Minister. So actually should have had everything going for him. But ironically, when it's come to the crunch, Devendra Fadnavis has been chosen primarily, I think, and Aditi would agree with me, that Narendra Modi and Amit Shah chose him over the others. Left to themselves, if there was a vote within the state MLAs, I think a Khadse would have probably won out.
Yeah.
So, Fadnavis has been imposed in a sense by the High Command, much like Indira used to impose leaders when the Congress was in power.
Aditi?
But I would just like to add, firstly, we have such similar names that I should explain what Fadnavis means. Fadnis or Fadnavis is, Fad in Marathi is accounts. As you know, Maratha leaders like Shivaji and others had largely Brahmin bureaucracy, and people who dealt with the accounts, who kept the state account keepers, were the keepers of the Fad, Fadnavis or Fadnis.
Right.
I must make a disclaimer. They mean the same thing,
Right.
and I must make a disclaimer that I am not related in any way to Mr. Fadnavis. But thankfully now it's becoming easier for this word for this name to be acceptable, because earlier it always used to be described as Fernandes. Are you Fernandes speaking, or are you something else speaking?
And also it's the first time since Nana Fadnavis. It's almost many believed that a Brahmin in today's Maharashtra could not become chief minister.
Yeah.
Just 3.5%. You had a Brahmin now. Earlier Manohar Joshi imposed in a sense by Bal Thackeray. Now Devendra Fadnavis again, and again because of the High Command's role.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think if he didn't have the support of Narendra Modi, there is no way that Devendra Fadnavis would have been able to edge out the likes of Eknath Khadse, who I still believe would feel a little resentful that they've been passed over.
Is that going to be a problem, Rajdeep? You think, I mean, going forward right now, when you say that, Devendra Fadnavis in many ways was imposed by the High Command, could there be trouble?
If you look at the next leader who's just been sworn in, Sudhir Mungantiwar.
Yes.
Again, someone who's been the state BJP president.
And
again,
who wanted
who wanted Nitin Gadkari, even though Nitin Gadkari and Devendra Fadnavis are from Vidarbha.
Yes.
He wanted, because see, this is the 60+ generation of the BJP that you're seeing. Devendra Fadnavis is 44.
Yes.
So he's actually an entire, it's almost as if the BJP has suddenly bypassed an entire generation of Maharashtra leaders to choose a Devendra Fadnavis. You had Gopinath Munde, Nitin Gadkari, Sudhir Mungantiwar. All of these leaders, all of them came to really in the 80s. They emerged as the BJP became more powerful in Maharashtra in the 1980s. Now they've been bypassed. Most of them sort of went to jail in the emergency.
Yes.
So now they will feel, who's this young man? So I think it will take some time for Devendra Fadnavis to get used to the idea that he is the chief minister and these people are all under his cabinet.
But you're saying that Devendra Fadnavis won't be viewed as an upstart because he's made his bones. He's made his bones in prison.
I don't think he'll be viewed as an upstart, but I think he will be certainly seen as someone who is junior.
Yeah.
I think that's been the problem that the Mungantiwars and the Khadses have had. Why is someone so junior? Why are we being bypassed? And one of the advantages, he's a better communicator.
Yes.
And I think Modi has realized that today's India needs a good communicator also as chief minister.
But I think the question that Shiv May was kind of sort of hovering over is, will the resentment such as it is against Devendra Fadnavis reach the point where some senior leaders may do a Narayan Rane on
could there be
with
friction?
somebody
Could
else?
there be could it manifest
could they
itself
join
in
up with
something?
somebody else?
Yes.
Firstly, I don't think the arithmetic adds up.
Yes.
You can't even if you want to.
Yes.
And I don't think at this point anybody in the BJP, no matter how Mahatvakanksha, how ambitious or how clever, would want to rock the boat at this point.
Particularly as long as they know Modi's support is there with Mr. Fadnavis. But remember, it is as of today a minority government.
Yes.
As of today, the Shiv Sena hasn't joined. So in that situation, Devendra Fadnavis, because Devendra Fadnavis' other strength was he was the one who took the NCP and others on front on the issue of corruption.
Yes.
So you see, he today can't be seen to back off. And therefore, at some stage, when he's asked questions, will he take that tough stand? How will he manage that? I think a lot of this will have to be managed. The person who's now being sworn is interesting, Shiv, because he brings back for me memories as a young journalist. One of the first press conferences I attended was one of the ABVP. He was the ABVP president of Mumbai, Vinod Tawde.
Yes.
And he's the sort of urban face, in a sense, now of the BJP.
Right.
Someone who's gone again through the ranks. A lot of the good thing about all the people who are being sworn in, they've all come through the organization. There's no one who's come laterally.
Right.
They've all over the last 20, 30 years worked very hard. One is first election this time was the leader of the party in the upper house. Again, a very powerful speaker. So the BJP has been able, to their credit, and I think credit goes to Pramod Mahajan and Gopinath Munde, who nurtured young leaders like Vinod Tawde.
Yes.
And today I think he owes a lot to Pramod Mahajan and Gopinath Munde for being where he is. It's going to be a small cabinet from what we are told, but most of them are organizational men, who have really cut their teeth in the ABVP, in student politics before they become ministers.
It's a historic day, Rajdeep. First BJP chief minister in the state, and all of these people we're seeing sworn in at this point of time, taking the oath at this point of time. The notion that Devendra Fadnavis was imposed. How is the BJP leadership? Has it? I'd like to divide my question into two actually. Did the BJP leadership have to manage emotions among these leaders, because they're not small fry, they've all, like you said, risen through the ranks. They're people who command a degree of respect. Did that have to be managed internally?
Absolutely. I think, as I said, I think it wasn't easy. It required a lot of, they had to be convinced. Look at what happened with Gadkari. It's unusual. There were BJP leaders openly saying Nitin Gadkari should be made chief minister, even as Mr. Gadkari was trying to stay out of it. The fact is that deep down inside today, I think he will also feel that he's been passed over. For years, the battle in Maharashtra after Pramod Mahajan's death in particular was Munde versus Gadkari.
Yes.
Now Munde passes away. I think somewhere Gadkari would have felt that he would be the natural choice now as chief minister. And along comes Fadnavis.
Yes.
I mean, as I keep saying, a generation has been bypassed by the BJP. And, full credit to Narendra Modi that he's realized that the younger leadership is perhaps more attractive to a younger Maharashtra and a clean face. You see, I think the big advantage Fadnavis had over a Gadkari, he was seen as clean.
Yes.
Gadkari somewhere was seen as close to Pawar, businessman, left the BJP presidency under a shadow. I think that made a difference.
All right, that made a difference. Dr. Manisha Priyam is still with us live. I think we still have her. Dr. Priyam, if you can hear me, wanted to bring you in on this and get your... Okay, Dr. Priyam is not with us. Aditi Fadnavis and Rajdeep are still with us. Those pictures will remain live on our screens. Various leaders taking the oath as they go forward. Rajdeep, just before you joined us, Aditi Fadnavis, me and Dr. Manisha Priyam were talking about the Shiv Sena as well. We had these pictures of Uddhav Thackeray leaving Matushri, arriving there at the Wankhede Stadium. It's a campaign, the tone of the Shiv Sena, which has moved from sort of a reasonable tone to open acrimony to very ugly things being said, finally to some pretty reasonable, supportive, positive things being said. What happened in the last 24 hours, Rajdeep, that Uddhav has finally, after asking his men to boycott the entire show, to finally personally making an appearance?
I think at the end of the day, Uddhav Thackeray is caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
And he's still not sure what he needs to do. You join the BJP government, your entire campaign of being distinctive goes. You stay out, you lose power.
Yeah.
It's like that old Ajit joke.
Yeah.
Liquid इसे मरने नहीं देगा, oxygen इसे मरने नहीं देगा, liquid इसे जीने नहीं देगा.
Right.
So I think the Shiv Sena is in a bind, and that's why Uddhav Thackeray has decided, let's play it. Let's see how it goes over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
If we are able to work out an arrangement, great. We're not going to get the portfolios we want. We won't get the deputy chief ministership. But the irony is there is a minister of the Shiv Sena in the central government.
Yes.
I mean, look at the absurdity of what is being played out. Mr. Anand Gite is heavy industries minister here. But they are boycotting or were planning to boycott the function till this morning.
Yes.
So I think somewhere good sense has prevailed. Because I think the BJP, the Shiv Sena at the moment needs to be in power. Remember, they are in power in the BMC. They will at some stage need the BJP. They know that Narendra Modi is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think Modi is the kind of person who wants an apology, I feel, from Uddhav Thackeray for the comments he has made. My sense is that, I could be wrong, but my sense is that Modi wants some kind of a public acceptance by Uddhav Thackeray that you are the supreme leader.
Would that ever be forthcoming in any form whatsoever?
I mean, it could be, it might not be. I think, after a point, it hardly matters. The fact is that I think here we are seeing another subterranean game going on, which is the competition between the NCP and the Shiv Sena. I mean, NCP now is part of it's given unconditional support despite the BJP's bitter condemnation of Ajit Pawar and the irrigation scam and his comments about drought and so on and so forth.
Yes.
And they were the bitterest enemies, and now the NCP is giving it unconditional support. Is this a way by which the NCP is dipping its toe into the NDA waters? And what is the NCP's position going to be in the Rajya Sabha, where the central government does not have a majority?
I think that's an interesting point, particularly the Rajya Sabha point is interesting.
It's going to be very, very interesting because NCP has as many as 6 members of the Rajya Sabha.
Right.
They need the NCP support in things like the insurance bill, GST, etc., etc. They need every vote they can get because the complexion of the Rajya Sabha, despite all the victories in the states, is not going to change till 2016. So, I mean, you are right now going to have an election in UP, which is again going the BSP-SP way, because that's the
which is why the BJP has been so ambivalent and not really said anything absolute about any of these two parties.
So the question is-
it's a tough thing,
Yeah.
for the NC, for the BJP also. How do you deal with the NCP? At one level, you ran a campaign where you called
National
it a
corrupt party.
naturally
Yeah.
corrupt party.
Yeah.
Now suddenly you seem to be more ambivalent
Yes.
towards them. You realize you might need their support at some stage at the center. It suits Sharad Pawar also,
Yes.
because Sharad Pawar wants to retain some relevance even after being the fourth player
Yeah.
in Maharashtra.
Yeah.
So how does he retain relevance? Keeps the pressure on the Shiv Sena. If you have a problem with the BJP, we are always ready. Try and reach out to Modi at the center. We know that there are businessmen who are close to both Sharad Pawar and Narendra Modi. So I think Sharad Pawar is keeping his options open at the moment. I think he's worried that he doesn't know which way the Congress will go in the next couple of years. I think that's his fear. And I think, therefore, the interesting, of course, face is the one that you're now seeing on your screen. Because I think in many ways, Shiv, Pankaja Munde becoming a minister.
Yes.
She was an MP till the other day. Father passes away. Father passes away. Now she takes over the father's mantle, in a sense. So she is now the face of her father, of the Munde legacy.
Yes.
She was the MLA till the other day in Beed.
That's right,
And
yes.
now she and her sister is becoming an MP. So I think she becomes the face, and many believed that she actually was the most magnetic face of this campaign.
Right,
When she
right.
went out, saw one of her campaigns in Marathwada. She attracted a large number of people. Maybe it's the sympathy for her father, but also she was able to effectively project herself as some kind of a rural.
And her aspirations were pretty explicit.
She
weren't
was
they,
open in an interview to Headlines today.
Yeah,
She
she
said
said-
she wants to be chief minister.
Right, exactly.
And I saw a section, in fact, of the BJP was actually saying that if you don't make, if you don't want any of us, make her, but don't make Fadnavis. I think they fear with Fadnavis that they're out of power for a longer period. So they were almost seeing Pankaja Munde as an alternative to Devendra Fadnavis. But I think she's, this is really her first term as an MLA. So to expect her
she
to
still has some time to go.
she still has some time to go, but it's interesting. She's the only woman I think that who's going to be sworn in today. She comes from Marathwada. She's an OBC, and I think somewhere down the line, maybe 5-10 years from now, she could well become a potential chief ministerial candidate if she's able to show that she has more than just what she showed in this election, an ability to connect with masses.
Aditi, we were talking about the Shiv Sena at this point of time, and the BJP has decided to form a minority government. And Rajdeep, I want to bring you in on this as well. Aditi and I were talking about the Shiv Sena's position now, as far as this government is concerned. They've decided not to join the government. There's the BMC, where the Shiv Sena needs the BJP's strength. There are various other factors, like you said. There's the centre. They've got a minister there at the centre. What kind of situation, specific to Maharashtra, are we talking about as far as the Shiv Sena is concerned? Does it have any strength? Does it have any bargaining power at all with the BJP?
Look, I think, if you see the Shiv Sena's, the demographics of the Shiv Sena MPs, or geographical composition, most of them are Mumbai, Thane, Konkan, more than half of them. So that region is an area, particularly the Konkan and Thane, where the BJP has not made the kind of inroads they want. The BJP, on the other hand, has shown that it's been able to make inroads in other parts of Maharashtra. So I think the alliance still works. It's not as if, if they were together, they would have got more than 200 seats. They would have wiped out the Congress NCP in this election.
Right.
I think the Shiv Sena will have to take a call. Does it want to be is it willing to accept the junior partnership? I think it's now a question that they have to come to terms with the fact that the BJP has put a Lakshman Rekha saying you're the junior partner. You won't get deputy chief minister. You're not going to get all the sort of malaidar or the wet ministries that many want in Maharashtra or in Mumbai every election. So if they reconcile themselves to that, then this arrangement can work. If they don't, then there's a question mark. And not just the Shiv Sena, all BJP allies are going to face that predicament. So you saw the Haryana Janit Congress had to leave. I'd like to see what happens to the Akalis 2 years
Punjab,
from now. How is that relationship now going to play out? Who's the junior, who's the senior partner in Punjab? How is the relationship with Paswan going to play out come Bihar election next year? Will Paswan completely accept a very, very limited profile for himself? So I think these are questions, but I think the BJP has drawn a Lakshman Rekha with the Shiv Sena, and the Shiv Sena is still coming to terms with the fact that they are the junior partner, which is why I think they didn't attend even today's. They didn't actually get them. 2 ministers were being offered to them. They felt 2 were too few.
Right, two were too few. Dr. Manisha Priyam, the Lakshman Rekha has been drawn. Do you think that the Shiv Sena can reconcile to this position, to this existence, as Rajdeep says?
At this point of time, see, you have to see politics in time horizon.
Yes.
in this short time horizon, the Shiv Sena has no option except to accept the position of being the second one there. Now this is also in a sense a very important point made by Rajdeep there, a signaling to the other alliance partners coming up in Jharkhand or in Bihar that if the BJP is going to have the largest numbers, it is going to be the strongest party.
Yes.
So no more the old style politics where the small is going to play the veto politics, where the small can be the party spoiler for the big one.
Right.
If you want, come behind us, otherwise we'll rule as a minority. And I think that's the strong message and signal that's going out, you know, that we could rule as a minority. And that signal is going to really change the course of the next few elections. Even in Bihar, there's hardly any doubt that the BJP would have very large numbers. But if it doesn't have a majority, this will be the shape of things to come. It will rule with a minority position and let the other parties come and fall in its feet saying, okay, now accommodate us even somewhere. But openly, of course, the party that is trying to eternally bargain will try and portray itself as having the strong arm somewhat. So the political tempering may be in a strong language, but at this point of time, it is basically internal bargaining that the Shiv Sena has to be content with. In the long term, in the long horizon, it could be anything for the Shiv Sena, but at this point of time, it is essentially bargaining.
All right, bickering and bargaining is the kind of profile that the Shiv Sena, at least for the moment, will have to reconcile itself with. Over a time horizon, as Dr. Priyam says, we'll have to see if the Shiv Sena can reconcile itself, as Rajdeep said, to a junior role, the position of a junior partner. But Rajdeep, you know, picking off on a point that Dr. Priyam just made, the signal that's being sent out to the BJP's partners. For instance, if I could ask you a specific question, what would be going on in Prakash Singh Badal's mind right now?
No, I think there's genuine concern. Because there's a section within the BJP which believes that the one state in North India, which they didn't do well in the 2014 elections, was not because of Narendra Modi or the BJP. The problem was the Akalis.
Yeah.
You know, it was the Akalis who were seen to be tainted with corruption, with anti-incumbency, and the Aam Aadmi Party benefited from that in Punjab. So what if we were to, in a sense, redraw the balance of power between Akalis and the BJP, and very similar to Shiv Sena.
Yeah.
Because while Bal Thackeray was in charge, Shiv Sena was the senior regional partner. While Prakash Singh Badal is there, the Akalis will probably always see themselves as a senior partner. What happens to a post-Badal Akalis? So I think we have to look at this, because that's exactly how this vote of the BJP in Maharashtra, a lot of it has been taken away from the Shiv Sena.
Right.
You know, that traditional, the Shiv Sena in the Hindutva alliance, and I remember Pramod Mahajan telling me this as early as 1991. One day, in the post-Bal Thackeray era, we will be the #1 Hindutva party of Maharashtra. He said this in 91. It's taken 23 years for it to happen.
But it happened.
But it happened. And whether it will happen in Punjab in 2 years' time, we don't know. Because the Akalis are also a solid grassroots party at one level. But maybe 5-10 years down the line, and maybe with the way Amit Shah and Narendra Modi are going about their politics, they will try and even bring it forward.
You know, just to take this point forward, you saw some reverberation of this in the Haryana election.
Right.
People in the BJP complained bitterly that the Akalis, although they were part of the NDA, Akalis were muscling their way in, and particularly with the help of the younger cadres of the Akali Dal youth wing, were changing the situation in Haryana, especially where Punjabis and Sikhs were present in large numbers.
Yes.
The BJP complained that we would have got at least 3 other seats had the Akalis not spoiled the game for us and played spoiler, basically, by campaigning against the BJP, well, not overtly against the BJP, but not campaigning for the BJP and campaigning for their own candidates. In several areas, the Akali Dal actually put up candidates in direct competition to the BJP, which split the BJP vote. So all these things are there on the horizon, and whatever the body language, pleasant as it may be today, I think every alliance partner of the NDA is watching the BJP's moves with a hawk's eye. Because they don't know where the dagger will land.
But this is the strongest possible signal. The way what the BJP has done in Maharashtra,
absolutely,
the strongest possible signal.
Absolutely. I mean, look at it. This is the oldest alliance. This is the oldest alliance along with the Akalis. These have been the two alliances which have stood the test of time. Now, if these alliances find themselves hostage to local politics, to local ambitions, to saying that, we are not just a national party, but we are the #1 party of your state as well, then I think it changes the rules of the game. It's much like why were very few parties for a long time reluctant to ally with the Congress. Because they always felt the Congress will sooner or later gobble us up. And after what has happened in Maharashtra, I think the same feeling will be there for potential allies of the BJP in the future. They will feel that the BJP is out there to extract the maximum out of us. I think the Shiv Sena today has reason and it's some feeling to feel hurt. You know, because I think there's been a lack of communication, yes, bitter campaign, but I think it could have been resolved in a better manner. The way it's played out in public, and I'm not holding a, I believe Uddhav Thackeray also has to take responsibility for some of the language that he used both against Narendra Modi and the BJP. But if you've been allies for 25 years, surely you could have resolved this.
Done with,
particularly because the BJP didn't get a majority. I mean, even after not getting a majority, even a minority government, the BJP has the confidence of telling the Shiv Sena, if you want, you can stay at home.
Stay at home.
What we need to worry about, I think, is also the ideological issues which are going to face the smaller parties in the NDA. I remember that when the whole debate was going on about multi-brand retail and opening up multi-brand retail and allowing retail to come into India, at one point the Akali Dal actually backed the Congress. Although they were bitterly opposed to the Congress in every other field, they backed the Congress in, or they made noises like that in supporting the opening up of the retail sector. And there, they were badly chided by the BJP. I know this because sources in the BJP themselves told me that the Akali Dal was on the cusp of kind of switching to a supporting role for retail, FDI and retail. And they were told by the BJP that, look, why are you being so stupid? Don't do this. It will put a strain on the alliance.
Can I just give just away from the BJP, just a historical perspective to what's happening. This is the first time.
The man on the screen,
apart from Mr. Modi, of course, there, and there you can see Prakash Singh Badal, all the chief ministers have come of the NDA, Manohar Parrikar, Chandrababu Naidu. But just a thought, first time swearing in being held at the Wankhede Stadium. Stadium named after Sheshrao Wankhede, who was interestingly a Congress mayor of Nagpur. And today you have a mayor of Nagpur who has become the chief minister. So, you know, in a strange way, sometimes history sort of brings you, and I know some cricketers are troubled because today the two gates named after Polly Umrigar and Vinu Mankad for one day have been changed into Hashu Advani and Shivaji Rao Mutkar. So the cricket stadium has been taken over. You can see Narendra Modi there larger than life, and I think the national anthem possibly is being played
once again, yes.
So all the important portfolios are now gone, and what is the Shiv Sena now left with? I mean, I'm assuming, although portfolios have not been announced yet,
absolutely,
I'm assuming that all the important portfolios will be given out now. So, I mean, even if Shiv
Sena will want some Mumbai-centric portfolio which might help them with the BMC. But yes, you're right. I think the Shiv Sena will now find it very difficult because I think the BJP has sent out a signal that the major portfolios are ours. You're very much a minor partner in this relationship.
If you're a partner at all.
I didn't see, did you see, I don't know whether Mr. Modi met Uddhav Thackeray, he possibly did. But I presume he would meet everyone there. But I think Mr. Modi has been personally hurt by some of the statements made, particularly by Uddhav, particularly that editorial, which eventually they had to sort of retract from, where they said, if a chaiwala's son can become a prime minister, why can't I become chief minister? I think that was hurtful, and I think it was unnecessary, it was undesirable. And I think that somewhere has hurt. It's good to see Advani ji there. So the old order of the BJP is also there today. And I think it's a big day for the BJP. The first chief minister, BJP chief minister of Maharashtra state, which has been completely dominated by the Congress for most of the last 6 decades.
Rajdeep, a question that we sort of talked about extensively on counting day, even on polling day, and right through the campaign, was the notion of the Modi wave. As the history of this day sort of sinks in and people sort of function under this government, who takes the credit for this victory? Is it still going to be the Modi Shah combined? What was it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at the statistics. Clearly show it. Here is a party whose highest seat share was 65. You go to 123. You get an incremental vote across most regions. Clearly the Modi factor played a role. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind, because the BJP is not as if it was organizationally robust in Maharashtra. Particularly after Gopinath Munde's passing away, Pramod Mahajan passing away, the BJP was not seen to have the same energy that even it had in the 1990s.
Right.
But I think the Narendra Modi factor has brought that energy
Energized
back.
it.
It has, so I think he deserves a large share of the credit. I think a large share of the credit for this victory. And I think somewhere the Shiv Sena perhaps underestimated that.
Right.
The Shiv
Right.
Sena thought that at the moment, Modi, yes, at the national level, but in a state level, people will come and vote for the Marathi Manus party. And I think that's where they got it slightly wrong.
All right, they got it slightly wrong. These live pictures coming in from the Wankhede Stadium, all the dignitaries on their feet, the ceremonials, the oath taking, the swearing in ceremony itself is complete. As Rajdeep said a short while ago, Devendra Fadnavis, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, will be addressing the state on live television in a short while from now on the state Doordarshan. We'll of course bring parts of that to you live here on Headlines Today as well. The Prime Minister and other top leaders are all there congratulating the new Chief Minister, the first BJP Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis. We're taking a quick break here on the news. Coverage continues in 2 minutes. Stay with Headlines.